Namaste beautiful yogis, and I have a very quick video that is very important actually that I wanted to touch upon, and I actually wrote down stuff so I can kind of talk quickly. And it's something that is, I get this question a lot, and it's a very popular question in the vegan community. Not losing weight on a plant-based diet, or not losing weight on a vegan diet, or gaining weight on a plant-based diet, or even gaining weight on a low-fat, high-carb vegan diet, even raw vegan diet. So what could be the cause for this, and what is my take on it, and just where I stand on this whole thing? Because it is a possibility. A lot of people are facing this and they don't understand why they're eating plants. And obviously if you're eating just plants, it seems like you should be just, the pounds should be dropping off, but that doesn't happen for everybody. So first I want to say, why do we want to lose weight anyways, and why is it so important to lose weight? It's not for vanity reasons. There is you should never want to lose weight for vanity reason, although I must admit that vanity is a good motivator. But that is not the reason why you need to lose weight. The reason is so that you feel good and you have vitality and you're at your optimal weight, so you can perform, work out without causing injury to your joints or just being out of breath, and your vital organs being surrounded by extra fat. And another reason is sometimes when we're storing a lot of toxins in our body, we do hold on to fat because the fat is a buffer. It's a buffer against all those toxins. So basically the fat is protecting the vital organs. So when you're having extra fat, it could be a number of things that you do not want to be happening in your body, such as maybe extra toxicity, maybe hormonal issues, maybe improper diet, oftentimes improper diet or movement or sleep, stress, thinking patterns, water intake, of course, and all of that. So yeah, it's not about vanity. It's never about vanity. It's always about vitality, how you feel and how well you can, how joyous you can be in the world when you are giving your body your optimum. And I was just recently talking to a friend, and he said that he basically, when you're not serving yourself in the best way you could possibly serve yourself, which is basically, we all have self-destructive habits. Some of us have really bad, huge self-destructive habits that are that can basically are life-threatening, such as alcohol, drug addiction, and other addictions that are not safe. And others just have unhealthy thinking patterns, maybe just addiction to small foods or no water during the day. Just small things that can just make such a big difference in your life, and it's always, or sleep, going to bed too late. So it's small things that can change your life and change your output in the world, meaning like if you feel good, you can give so much others. And it's sometimes, it's just this small thing, like you just don't like grains, or you just love ice cream way too much, but this small thing can impact so many areas in your life, and it can make you tired, sluggish, get sick more often. So as a result, you don't meet your friends as often, or you're not as present with them when you meet them, or you're just not having enough time to do the creative things you want to do. You're not painting as much, or you're not doing as much in life as you could be doing if you were serving your body. And once you start serving your body, it becomes somewhat easy. It's always something to improve in there, but it becomes easy, and those small adjustments can really change your life. So yeah, you should never your self-worth should never come from how you look, because you are setting up yourself for failure. You don't want to attach your self-worth to how you look, or how skinny you are, or how perfect your weight is, or anything like that, because your self-worth comes from a deeper place. It is your soul that it makes you a worthy being on this planet. And as soon as you understand that and accept it and work with that concept up until it sinks, it soaks into your tissues and you embody it, then you are more able to love yourself, give yourself what your body and your mind and your emotions need, and you're able to serve as much others. So it's actually a pretty neat reason to why one should be striving for a healthy lifestyle. It's never about some form of vanity. Even if it looks like it, actually, whenever your motivation for weight loss comes from vanity, it becomes self-abusive, such as in eating disorders and other addictions to, surgeries or like pills or anything that can help you maintain whatever you're looking for, skinniness or whatever looks. So obviously you want to come from a centered place of self-love so that you're not continuing a self-abusive cycle, because you could be as skinny as any woman wants to be, and if you are self-abusive and achieving this the wrong way, then you're again not serving yourself and not serving society. And it all boils down to your purpose in life, your path in life, your ability to love, capacity to love yourself and others, and to give others. So serving and purpose and path is the bottom line of all of this. So I'm not coming to you with this, how to lose weight because it's so important for you to have a flat stomach and it's so bad and you're such a bad person if you're overweight. No, not at all. We all struggle with the same things in life. We all come from the same place. I have compassion for every single person, and I have no judgment. And what I'm trying to tell you is, you can love yourself at any place you're at now, no matter how bad you think your habits are, or like even if you're ashamed of things about yourself, you can still turn it around and come from a place of love. And so let's get to it. What did I wanna? So why you could be not losing weight? Okay, you change your diet to a plant-based diet. You're vegan, maybe raw, high carb, and you're not losing weight. First and most important, I'm not going to surprise anybody with this one, is calories. I'm sorry to tell you, but calories, you cannot eat unlimited amount of calories just because you're plant-based. I am an active person and have been vegetarian, I think, for over 20 years now, and I became raw, high carb vegan probably 10 years ago, and I have been on a similar diet with a few hiccups. I got on the gourmet raw food thing, then I did get on a high fat raw diet, and those experiences were good enough for me to just show me what doesn't work and to just go back to basics and go back to what works in the best diet. So I have made a lot of mistakes during those 20 years, but overall, for the past 10-ish years, I have been gravitating back to this particular diet that I'm doing now, mostly fruits and veggies and raw. And I can tell you that I don't know why anybody would advise anybody to take a limited amount of calories. The only reason why we're emphasizing it a lot is just because you want to get enough food. If you're eating normally bread and steak and pasta, those are small servings, and you can't have the same small serving when you move to a plant-based diet. So eat a lot of volume, but still you have to make sure that you're not eating 3,000 calories if you are 5'2". So pay attention to your calories. You don't have to count calories or anything like this. You can just track your calories for 2 months or 1 month, just to kind of have an idea of what you're doing and see how many calories you're getting in. If that's not the issue, and it's possible that you're not eating a lot of calories, then you might be under eating also. That is also a possibility, that you're just shutting your metabolism a little too much and you need to eat. Or you could be having too much fat in your diet on top of the sugars in your diet, and that is not a great combination. In general, if you're going to have a lot of fats in your diet, it's better not to have a lot of fruits, just because it will create in your body a perfect place for yeast overgrowth, candida, and all of those. So if you're having a lot of fruit and a lot of carbs, keep your fat lower. And I don't mean don't eat any fat. There is no foods with no fat besides processed foods. I do mean get your fats in. I start my day always with some tea with some hazelnut milk that I've been making. Just the best hazelnut milk, homemade, just roasted hazelnuts or raw hazelnuts and water, and it's the best. And then I do add other fats during the day, certain seeds and whatever season it is. I keep changing everything up. It could be sweet basil seeds, chia seeds, coconuts, and so forth. So I do get fats in my diet. It's just that you don't want to live off of fat. It's not optimal. And it's not optimal for fitness. It's just not an optimal calorie source. And if you are, I want to touch upon oils. If you are feeling absolutely perfect and you love your olive oil, just don't overdo it. But have a little bit of olive oil if that is your thing, and because I know that a lot of you feel passionate about olive oil and coconut oil, so keep it. Just don't overdo it if you're gonna do plant-based and carbs, and just enjoy it, but try to cut it down. So because it is an extracted food, it's not the whole food. You're not getting the whole profile of whatever the plant is providing. The fiber and a lot of the nutrients are removed, and you're just getting pure fat. So it's pretty much the same as pure sugar. You don't want to add too much of either one of those into your diet. You want to add whole foods that are full of vibrancy, color, antioxidants obviously, water, and all the nutrients, phytonutrients that come with that. Another reason why you could be not losing weight, again, calories, you could be getting too many calories from processed foods, oils, sugars, dehydrated foods, or like gourmet foods, raw gourmet, or even cooked foods. So now if you're plant-based, and you're eating a lot of cooked foods, then again, watch your portions, because cooking condenses foods, and then you cannot have huge portions. And also, for me personally, starches do not work. If I'm gonna eat bread, it's very rare I get bread from grains that are not hybridized, so those older varieties of wheat and sourdough. And that is not often for me, just because I don't find this type of bread often enough around. I only find it actually when I go to Bulgaria, because they make there this dense, nice ancient wheat bread and ancient other grains bread. So I find that to be good. I don't know that I would live off of it, but it's good when I go there. And with potatoes, they don't work for me at all. Even sweet potatoes, I can have them a little bit in winter, but I definitely don't want to make them a staple. It just it doesn't work for me. It affects my metabolism, and I just don't feel the same way. And I do feel that they do make me gain a little bit of weight in strange way. So basically, they're fine, but they don't work for everybody. And if test it out, if you're one of some people thrive on them. So if you are gaining weight and you're living off of potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice and bread, then you try to change it up and see how that works for you. Keep changing things up. That is one of the most, for me, one of the most important things is I like to change things completely up every so often, because I do that with fitness too, with all our interval yoga classes. But even in life, I don't want to get stuck in like a complete rut and do the same thing over and over. And especially if it stops working for me and I stop having excitement for it, then I have to change it up. If you're the happiest person on the planet and you love your oatmeal in the morning and salad for lunch and healthy dinner for something healthy for dinner, and you're absolutely super efficient, you're doing all your creative work, you're spending the best time with your friends and all of that, then of course it's working for you. But if you start to get kind of like, if you feel the need for change, then change things up. Just change things up. Instead of potatoes, start eating broccoli and dip for dinner, which is one of my favorite things to eat. It's raw vegetables with raw dip. So that is something you can do probably anywhere on the planet. Get raw vegetables and make raw dip, or even cooked dip. It's not that big a deal. And in winter, if you live in a very cold climate, you can still stay with the vegetables, and instead of potatoes have squashes and all of those pumpkins and stuff, and because they're lighter on the starch, and bring some warming spices into your food. Add some spices, black pepper, cumin, cinnamon, ginger, all of those, so that your body is warm. And let's see, exercise, of course. You could be not exercising enough, so you're not losing weight, or very often you could be over exercising, so your body is stressed out in a place of increased cortisol and just storing fat around the stomach. Always have a day off or 2 days off. Never do yoga every single day of the week. It's just, I know some of you do it, but I do feel I've never been able to do it. I don't think I have had a single week of my entire life when I've done yoga 7 days a week. And I don't think I can do it. And I think if I do end up doing yoga 7 days a week, it's just 4 of those classes are just gonna be, I will just move through the motions, but I will not fully feel the motions and connect with it. Or even with interval training, which is easier. I know not everybody thinks jumping like a maniac during death circle is easier, but if you really employ your muscles when you do something, yoga is more difficult. So basically, try to take days off and go for a walk if you don't wanna. I don't mean sit on a couch the entire day. Go for a hike, a mild hike. Go for a walk. Do a few of my dead circles or HIIT workouts on a day off, or even my shorter classes. But just change it up a little bit so that you're not working out or doing yoga every day. Another thing is, I'm sorry to say it, and I know this is the second most controversial. The first most controversial was unlimited calories, and the second, or counting calories, and the second most controversial is detox, which I don't understand why. Because when you are eating fruits, you're essentially detoxing. So yeah, you don't need to detox because you are detoxing. But yeah, sometimes you do need to detox. Even after too many starches, after who knows what kind of toxins you're exposed to, not from food, just toxins in your environment. Obviously foods, processed foods, chemicals in food, all of that, dirty air, toxins from your past, lifestyles, habits, etc. So, or even from pharmaceuticals, from drugs and so forth, you do need to detox, and periodically you do need to detox, even if you're on a clean diet. Even if you're on a completely plant-based diet, every so often I personally find it important for me to detox, and what for me nowadays is detox, is just going back to very basic foods. No dips, because my dips can have 10 ingredients and all kinds of spices and stuff, and things that they are to a degree, every food to a degree is an excitotoxin. So going back to very simple stuff, I personally every so often remove nightshades, tomatoes and such from my diet just for a few weeks. I remove whatever I'm eating and I replace it with something else, so that I'm not constantly bombarding my body with absolutely the same food. And for example, if I normally like my vegetables with dip, I would switch to bananas and something else, whatever fruit is in season. I would switch to figs and grapes and grains. And I'll do this for a little bit just to kind of go back to a very plain diet, and allow my body to relax and detox and go back to, you know, more complex diet in winter and so forth. So detox, some herbs for detox, some herbs for liver, are very helpful. I love herbs. So always good to add some liver herbs to your diet, some kidney herbs, some lymphatic system herbs. Always a great idea. I'm all for detox. Detox for everybody is different. For some people are going on a somewhat high-fat diet, and plants would be detoxing if they normally, you know, drink alcohol and eat steak every night. So for everybody, detox is different, but I find it very beneficial, resets your system. And I want to touch up on something. There is this notion that you're going to shut down your metabolism if you detox. I personally don't agree with that. I don't think your metabolism is something that just shuts off and that's it for the rest of your life. It shut off just because you went through a period of less food or something like that. No, your metabolism adjusts to whatever your lifestyle is, and as long as you are healthy and you're trying to live somewhat stress-free life, then your metabolism will be adjusting to whatever your needs are. You don't need a revved up metabolism or a super low hibernating metabolism. You want to stay somewhere for the most of your time in the somewhere in between. Too revved up, you're just burning high, like high fire, and inflammation and all of those things come with high metabolism. Low metabolism, of course, you probably will end up living longer with a low metabolism as long as your weight is down. But you want to be in the middle. That is obvious. And I covered the unlimited calories. First, sleep. You need to sleep. And you need to go to bed early. You need to get whatever. Everybody has different needs for sleep. I find it that I need to get on average between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a day. That's what my body needs. If I exercise more, I need more sleep. In summer I tend to need less sleep, so you just kind of figure out what your body needs, but you want to feel fresh during the day. You want to feel kind of fresh and energetic and fluid. The body feels fluid and the joints feel lubricated and all of that. And speaking of joints, eating high, that's another thing. Eat a lot of grains. If you're eating a lot of fruits and even vegetables, try to get as many grains into your diet as you can, because they're going to keep your inflammation down. They will upkeep your gut flora. They will actually keep you at the right range of calories. I find it that if you increase your grains a lot, you don't need to eat 4,000 calories of fruit. Because grains have higher protein, higher fat, so the calories from grains don't equal the calories from fruit in your body. No calorie is a calorie. It depends where it comes from. And but you do need greens, because it will provide minerals for your body, and your blood test will come back good if you do get your greens. And stress is a big one. Yoga, I would recommend my classes, and even my higher intensity classes are great for stress, because all we do is we create an empty mind. It's also your internal dialogue, learning to stop the internal dialogue and the mind chatter, and allowing yourself to sit in the space of the heart throughout your day. Open heart, grounded through the feet, umbilical cord, and just creating. If you're not following my classes, this might sound a bit like, hippie mumbo jumbo, but it works, I promise. Those are techniques that have been used for a long time. It's not something new. And keeping yourself grounded, keeping your consciousness more, even gut level is okay. gut level, heart level, and out of the head is where how you can keep your stress down, because you allow yourself to trust the process of living. Most of the stress comes from really illusions and anxieties about things that may or may not happen. A lot of it is from the related to the future. Some of it is past. The past is also here. So allowing yourself to be present in the moment and to keep yourself out of the mind chatter will allow you to just be calm through your day. Be present in your day, and will allow you to just let go of the constant stress, because a lot of people, when they get older, they realize there is no reason for anxieties and stress, because when you look back on all the things that we're stressing about, they were basically pointless. There was no reason ever to stress about those things. And a lot of the petty things we tend to get all worked up about, they also don't matter. Nothing like learning this from experience, but when you lose a few things in life, when you lose certain relationships or people in your life, and you realize the things that were concerning you at the time when you did have those people in your life, once you lose the person, you lose all the things that were bothering you or concerning you about this person. So you kind of learn to not attach to small things, and you understand the grand scheme of things. So just even sometimes when you lose relationships and things, you can always look on the bright side and look at everything as an opportunity to learn and become wiser, instead of choosing to have a victim mentality about things, because things happen to teach you and to allow you to grow. They just are the perfect environment for you to grow. I've even terrible suffering, which I have gone through, like a lot of pain and terrible suffering from mold exposure, and even that, even though the experience was horrible and I almost died, it reconfirmed, first of all, this diet as the most healing diet on the planet that we are discussing, the plant-based. And second of all, it took me in a direction I needed to go in, and it provided an opportunity for me to grow. So anything that you're going through, understand that there is a bigger picture, grand scheme of things, and you are given the opportunity to learn. If the pain and the heartache and the experience seems bigger than you can carry, then it means that you're given a big opportunity to grow. Huge opportunity, because you are ready. And because your soul is at a level where your soul is ready to go to its next level. So stay fluid, stay open to the experiences, and allow yourself to grow through that. And stress, hormones are related to diet, stress, and all of that. So that could be another reason. Thyroid dysfunction could be causing you weight gain, or any other issues, but you still can address a lot of this with your diet. Of course, blood tests, and you can address it with herbs and other things, even yoga poses you can address. And once you calm down and sleep enough and eat right, a lot of your issues will kind of go away. But if you're still not gaining, if you're doing all of this and not losing weight, then of course you need blood tests so that you can see what is wrong, where exactly the problem is coming from, and you can address it usually through herbs. And for me, it's through herbs and detox and such things, rather than, you know, pharmaceuticals. And salt, you might be having too much salt in your diet, so that is causing water retention. Try to remove the salt from your diet. Try to have celery and seaweeds and such things that are providing better sodium sources. I've been drinking a lot of celery juice and I love it, and I have no cravings for salt whatsoever. Also, certain hot peppers, I really love this one, and I hope it doesn't have salt on it added in the drying process, but it is kind of salty and I like it on things. Aleppo pepper, it's probably the best hot pepper out there. It's actually naturally oily and just slightly salty in its own flavor, so that one is amazing to add to things. I don't use it every day, but I find it to be salty. And water intake, try to drink a lot of water. Increase your water in summer. Drink it on empty stomach. Try not to drink your water after your meals. And oh, I shouldn't forget to say food combining. Try to follow food combining rules. Everybody has different ideas about food combining, everybody that you ask. For me, I try not to combine, first of all, fruits are on their own, at the most with greens, depends if it's a smoothie or how you're gonna have them, but generally fruit on their own. Sour and sweet fruit I do not mix. Also, I try not to mix starches such as pumpkins and potatoes with tomatoes, or even carrots, cooked carrots if they are, with sour tomatoes or such things. In small quantities you can have all these combinations, but if you're gonna have a huge meal, it will impair your digestion. You're better off always going back, especially if you're trying to figure out a health condition, weight gain and so forth. You're better off going back to basics and keeping your meals very simple. You can yeah, melons on their own, watermelon on its own. You can add lettuce and celery to fruit, that is fine. Waiting enough time between meals, and I think I will keep it at that. I think I might have missed a few things, but that would be the main reasons why you're not losing weight. There could be a few more reasons, obviously. If you have some ideas, you can post them in the comments below. But overall, don't stress about it. Find your self-worth and self-value in general as a human being that is worthy of love and of acceptance as much as any other being. And I think that's about it. I will see you soon with the next video. Namaste.